Hey guys, Clinton Harris out here in San Diego, California. Just want to do this little video to talk to you guys about one of the most important life skills that most people will never learn, or most people learn until it's too late, or don't learn until it's too late. That's called financial intelligence. This video, this content is a lot inspired by my personal experience, but a lot of personal development with Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, and Grant Cardone. And I just want to share this information because I think a lot of people, you're missing that little link. You know, it's one of those things that the school system expects the parents to teach us, or our generation, or the generation before, or before that, right? And it's a misconception that our parents are going to teach us how to handle money. And the thing is, most of our parents don't know how to handle money. That's why 97% of the world is struggling financially, paycheck to paycheck, going paycheck to paycheck, and only 3% of the entire world, right, is financially independent, financially free, right? So this is a huge concept that most people don't get, and I'm gonna see if I can bring it down a couple levels so that everyone can understand this, right? So my personal experience is I went to college for a little bit, racked up a good amount of debt, went into the military and racked up a lot more debt, and started a business and racked up a lot more debt. So very very young, but at the same time I have more debt than most people have my age. But the thing is, I've learned that the hard way. And what's cool about this is you can leverage my experience to help you learn a little bit easier. Leverage my experience to help you learn faster and more efficiently, right? So soon I'll be debt free, completely debt free, because I know exactly where I'm going through my businesses. And hopefully with this content, you guys can kind of relate with me and maybe change a couple things in your lives so that you can become financially independent as well. So I'll talk about this is not only the most important life skill to learn, but it's a mindset of knowing that you are larger than any financial disaster that can touch you. That just because your finances are going down the drain doesn't mean you're gonna die. It doesn't mean that it's the end of the world, but it can be if you don't learn how to fix it, right? So a lot of people are spending money on things that they need, or things they think they need, things that they think they want, things that they think are essential to life, and people are moving their money around that they don't really know what they're doing with it. People are just taught to go throw money here and throw money there. So maybe this content can help you out. All right, so I want to talk to you guys about how too many people are wasting money. They don't believe they actually deserve their money. Everyone wants to be wealthy. Everyone wants to have financial freedom, financial success, but they don't really believe that they earned it or that they deserve it. So that's something that you have to change immediately if you really want it to ever happen, right? And that's why people, because they don't believe they deserve it, that's why right when the money comes in, it's gone. It comes in, it's gone. It comes in, it's gone. And it's the same rough cycle that we're all taught. So two paradigms. One is wealthy-minded people. Wealthy-minded people work hard for their freedom, right? Two, the second one is broke people. The rest of everybody else that's not wealthy, they don't work for their freedom. They work for the dollar. And this is kind of a paradigm shift that you have to make if you really want to make it in this life. If you really want to become financially independent, you have to go from working for the dollar to working for your freedom, right? So the key is that wealth is not really a thing. It's not tangible. Wealth is a state of mind. That's why when we say, a lot of our events, we talk about poor is passing over opportunities repeatedly. Poor, right, is a mindset, and so is wealth. You can have a poor mindset, you can have a wealthy mindset. Right, it's all a decision. But basically, we're here to talk about, a big concept is financial independence. What that means to you, what that means to me, what that means to all of us. Financial independence is a position. It means you no longer have to sweat as much as you once did, right? And basically, you cannot chase wealth. You already have it. It's just disguised, right? It's your wealth mindset. Poor mindset is disguised over it. So you don't understand that you have it. But you do. It's deep down, like you know it. Like it's that burning desire that you have that most people, if they don't go after something, it fades away. But it's there, right? So you can't chase it. Most people are pursuing it, and they already have it. Why are you pursuing something you already have? Most people pursue everything that they already have. So you already have it, guys. Understand that. That's a huge thing in this. But to gain financial independence, there are a couple steps that I've really looked at through studying Tony Robbins, Robert Kiyosaki, and Grant Cardone is one, you have to believe that you deserve it. If you don't believe you deserve it, it'll never be yours. That's plain and simple. You have to understand that. One, believe that you deserve it. Two, you got to focus on it, right? Because what we know in business and whatever you're doing is what you focus on manifests. It comes to life. What you focus on is what you think about. What you think about is what you bring about, right? So basically, you have to focus on it. You have to be ready. This is the third one. You have to be ready, and you have to be willing to create what you really want. And you have to not only be able and be willing to create it, but you have to be willing and able to risk it all. Right? If you're not willing to risk it all, you're not going to gain anything. And the thing is, most people, they think that investing is a risk, but if you don't invest, that's more of a risk. Right? If you invest, you could lose, yes. But if you don't invest, you've already lost. You've already lost. Right? So basically, that's huge portion is you have to be ready and willing to create it and risk it all. Right? 4, you have to act. You have to act with tenacity and vigor. You have to be tenacious. You gotta want it. Right? You have to be relentlessly disciplined. Like, this is the biggest thing ever, because everyone blames where they come from or who they're around or whatever it's already happened to them. They blame that on not wanting to be where they want to be, and that's not true. And you have to shift that also, but you have to be relentlessly disciplined. You gotta act fierce. You gotta be fierce. You gotta be on your A game, right? So 1, believe you deserve it. 2, focus on it. Whatever you focus on will always manifest. 3, be ready and willing to not only create something, but risk it all. And 4, you have to act with relentless discipline, vigor, and tenacity, right? When you act, know for each dollar, this is the next step, guys. This is the next, moving on to the next chapter. When you know, right? When you know that you're on the road to become financially free and financially independent is when you start tracking everything, right? We're never taught to do this, right? Or always balance your checkbooks, yes. But you have to know where every dollar is coming and going. Every dollar that comes in, every dollar that goes out, you have to know where it's going, why it's going there, and what's the purpose of everything that you spend, everything that comes in, right? This is not a should, guys. Most people should do this. But if you really want to separate yourself from the rest of the world, if you really want to separate yourself and really become financially independent, you have to understand that there are things that you have to do. You have to track it. You must track every dollar that comes in and out. Moving on. Spend less than you earn. This is a key principle that all of the greats in not only personal development but business, this is all of them, this is all they talk about, right? Spend less than you earn. Imagine this. You get this much. You spend this much. That's why you're in debt. And it continues, and you borrow, and you go on credit, and the next thing you know, you're huge debt. Huge debt. You lose your job. Boom. And you're like everyone else, right? This is where it has to happen. You have to spend less than you earn. Spend less than you earn always. Invest the difference. Whatever you don't spend, invest it. When that comes back, reinvest it. Right? That's what you have to understand. Spend less than you earn, invest the difference, reinvest it. This is a huge principle that Tony Robbins teaches. And moving on to the next subject, guys, people are fearful. People are fearful. Right, one of my favorite quotes is by one of my mentors. He says, fear is an illusion. Right, it's a self-set limitation. Limitations are illusions. I'll say it again. Fear is an illusion. It's a self-set limitation. Limitations are illusions. They don't exist. They only exist if you pay attention to them and if you create them for yourself. So stop being so afraid. Stop being so afraid. Invest if you have to in something that you know is going to grow or you hope that's going to grow. If it doesn't, then you learn. There's a win and there's a loss. But a loss is always a learn if you don't let it be a loss. Okay? Hopefully you guys got that. So break down everything in percentages. When something comes in, you need to break down every single dollar that comes in. This is where it really counts, guys. It's where it really counts. Right? So a percentage of what you make needs to go in your security bucket. Right? This is Tony Robbins again. Security bucket, meaning something to back up. You have 6 months. He says 2 to 6, but knowing a lot of people that I know, it's more of like just a 6 to 12. So you should strive towards having enough income in your security bucket to be able to live comfortably and pay all your monthly expenses for 6 months to a year. I think Robert Kiyosaki talks about the same principle, right? So that's one thing. All that money, your first percentage needs to go to that, straight to that. Security bucket, boom. Security bucket, boom. Right? Next is a percentage has to go to growth, and the growth is the investment, right? And again, a lot of people are afraid of investing. Maybe they've been burned on a company or another company or this project or this stock or whatever it was, but you will never win if you're afraid to. And the only way to win is to invest something, whether that's money, heart, time, whatever it is, right? So second percentage needs to go into your growth bucket. That's the investments. That's where you make the money work for the money, right? And the thirdly is a percentage needs to go into your dreams, right? A lot of people want to go have a boat or a nice TV or a nice house or a nice car or whatever it is, or fly here, fly there. So a percentage needs to go into your dreams, and that's your percentage. But a lot of people get this stuff mixed up, and I've seen my whole family do this. First they go into the dreams, and they spend all this money, ridiculous amount of money on a nice car, on a nice TV, on a nice this, on a nice that, and then everything else that they have goes boom straight into their security, or not even that, but just their monthly expenses, and then it's gone. That's where people say, I don't have the money. I don't have the money to invest, because it's gone. Because they spend it all on stuff they don't need. They waste the money on what they don't need, and they're walking around with $100 this, $100 that, $100 this, $100 that. Their car is $60,000, and they can and they have monthly expenses of $2,000, and they're taking out loans to pay for things. That's just crazy talk. That's how you learn the hard way, if you learn it. But basically, guys, you have to get these things in order, right? You have to put money aside in case something happens, a fail-safe for your backup, a backup to a backup. You have to have money set aside. That's the savings. That's the security, right? That's how you feel good about the money that you have. And then two is you have to put something in it for growth, investments. The only way to make money or more money is to invest money. Third is the dreams, the trips here, the trips there. And if you can do this all, get this all accomplished in with a year or two times, depending on how much debt you're in or how much debt, you've accumulated, or maybe your family's in, then that's probably the best thing. But that's the basic plan, the layout, is you have to get your finances in control, right? You control your money, or your money will control you, right? Same thing with you control your day, or your day will control you. So you determine what these percentages are. You determine all of these percentages. But security first, growth second, dreams third, right? Your dreams go first, you end up like everyone else, right? Your growth goes first, then you might have a big loss and you have no money. Security first, right? Get these things in order, and learn from my mistakes. The biggest thing is the number one rule in business and in life is number one rule is basically learn from others' experiences. That's the only way to leverage my experience, with my heaps amount of debt from the military lifestyle, which is different, and the business lifestyle and student loans and stuff like that. But take this and run with this, guys. If you guys like this content, like it here on Facebook, subscribe to my channel, and share this with people who are probably in a similar situation that I was in and I'm not anymore, or that you're in, or whatever the case. Just share this with people who need to hear this. Maybe it's a family member, a friend, whoever it is, guys. Again, this content is very much inspired by not only my own life experiences, my business, my military life, and then also student life, but it's also inspired by learning from some of the greatest teachers and coaches out there. And three of them that I've learned from this are Robert Kiyosaki, Tony Robbins, and Grant Cardone. So with that being said, guys, like this, share this, subscribe to this, and look out for my next video. If you guys have any ideas that you want me to maybe cover, go ahead and shoot me a message. I don't bite, right? I love conversating with new people. So God bless, guys. Talk to you soon.